Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Morning Night Live. It's me, your host, Dawg Knight. The image is on the screen right now. Currently, the French Interior Minister is touring the Notre Dame Cathedral over in Paris after the blaze that happened there. I was surprised at I don't know the words. There was a dread in me when I saw the images. As I turned on, I looked at my phone in the afternoon yesterday, and it was as the fire was really blazing out of the roof of the cathedral, and I just happened to turn it on just as the spire, the tower, the middle, peak tower fell, and man, it was just heartbreaking. I'm a fan of I have no religious affiliation with the Catholic Church. I have no French in my lineage. I don't have any personal connection. And yet, seeing that historical building ablaze, it really, really hit me in a kind of a hard way. It made me very, very sad. So, hard to see. Now, the good news is, they apparently most of the artwork and artifacts that were in the cathedral were saved. They were able to remove much of that. Many of the priests and the firefighters, etc., were able to get that a lot of that stuff out of there. And apparently the main towers, the four main towers are all intact. The gigantic stained glass window is 100% intact, and they're in the process of making sure that they can save what's happening in the they're going to be able to save the building structurally. It's going to cost a hell of a lot of money. I think someone in the chat said, Selma Hayek's husband said he would donate $100 million to rebuilding it. Wow, that's amazing. So, it's a pretty sad deal. So, looks like they got the cameras coming in. You can see the steeple there. That's where it collapsed inside. So, anyway, if you just got here, this is the French Interior Minister is touring Notre Dame after the blaze from yesterday. So, anyway, it's a sad event. I'm just gonna leave this on the screen for a second. Here, let's see if we can. I'll put some sound on here. Although I'm assuming they're going to be speaking in French mostly. Why I would assume otherwise, I don't know. So this is a live feed from the cathedral right now as they're touring. Interesting. I'm looking at the chat from this feed too, and there's an occasional person there saying this could be, I don't know. It's partly fault of the stupid, greedy politicians all over Europe, puppets for the Rothschilds, Bilderberg Group, Bushes, and NWO. There's always going to be some conspiracies. I got a couple articles about this. Let's Let's get into the show. I'm going to play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, Dawg Knight. All right, stop the music. Hey, it's me, Dawg Knight. Good morning again. I the whole Notre Dame thing has me feeling some kind of way, man. So here I am. I got my reparations coffee, and we're gonna get into the show. Quick good morning to everybody. Good morning, Corbin, who was first today. Corbin, if you see Thomas, took me a long time, not a long time, it took me a while to figure out who's Corbin. That would be C. Thomas. And good morning, Sarah. Also, good morning, Seamus Derby. Pincalo, the driving ape man, probably in his truck. And Zombie Teddy, Jaeger Pony, Richo. Who else is here? Well, the chat's moving along pretty quick. Lord Rothschild, hello. And anyone else? All you need here's Ezub. Wow, a lot of people hopping in here today. Yeah, I see, Thomas. Yes, I know your theory about the fire. We might get it. We're gonna get into that a little bit today. Good morning, Necro. Good morning. Okay, I think that's about everybody so far. There's a bunch of people in here, and a lot of my regulars. I'm so happy that you're here. And remember, right there, hit that like button, and down here the share. If you can share it out, that'd be great. I didn't do the old whatchamacallit. I didn't do the old Twitter thing today. I didn't tweet this out. Hey, good morning, Dectran. Yeah, Quasimodo burns down Notre Dame. Man, I had this same feeling. I don't even know if you remember, but back in the early 2000s, was it the early 2000s? Might even in late 1999, when the Taliban went and destroyed the giant. I think they were supposed to be like images of Buddha or something. They're these giant sculpted statues in the side of a mountain. And the Taliban went and bombed those and destroyed those because they were destroying anything that was related to any other religion. We're talking these 300 feet tall carved statues. I had the same feeling when I saw that. And that was, I didn't know anything about the Taliban. All I know is that those giant, beautiful works of art were being destroyed. And so when I saw the fire at Notre Dame, I had that same feeling, man. But and obviously, with what's been going on in France, there's been vandalism and things happening at different Catholic churches around France. The first thing you think is this related to that? And it's like, yeah, it might be. Apparently they didn't think. At least they don't know. This is one where you just got to let it be investigated. They were also doing construction on the, that tower, not the tower, the steeple. They were doing a renovation on that steeple. It could have been something related to that. They just don't know. But it's just tragic. Now, something that I saw, and I think maybe I saw this Tim Pool, but I happened to see this article too. I don't think, we're always trying to tamp down the idea that it might be some kind of arson and sabotage and not wanting to, we just had this thing with Ilhan Omar when she was minimizing the September 11th attack. So, so you don't want to drive speculation, but YouTube yesterday did something that almost perfectly drove speculation about what happened. And it has to do something with their algorithm. And so I'm just going to show you this article because I thought this was just fascinating. So as Notre Dame is burning, an algorithmic error at YouTube put information about 9/11 under news videos. A reminder that even efforts to limit misinformation can end up spreading it instead, and that human editors watching over the algorithms can be a pretty good thing too. So here it is. It's terrible news for anyone who values history, loves Paris, or read Victor Hugo. Notre Dame Cathedral, the Gothic-era gem that at the historic center of Paris, was on fire. I say was because it says is in this article. It's obviously far too early for anything conclusive, but early suggestions from officials are that the blaze could be related to the ongoing renovations to the roof. There's no indication at this writing that it's a terror attack or related in any way to a terrorist group. So, as people turn to YouTube to see live streams from trusted news organizations of the fire in progress, why was YouTube showing them background information about 9/11? Gosh. Couple quick good mornings. Good morning, MC. Good morning, Smarty Bear. I first noticed this when I went to France 24, which produces an English language feed, and saw this unusual box. Because under this Notre Dame fire, they're putting information about 9/11. Now, what would that make you think? If you're looking at a news source and there's information about 9/11 right underneath it concerning this fire, you're going to think, oh, this is a terror attack. Why in the world is YouTube putting information about 9/11 underneath the Notre Dame live stream from France 24, especially since it seems like, at least right now, ongoing renovations are the most likely cause? No indication of terror. Now, they might find out something different, whatever, but looking around, along with France 24, I saw the 9/11 info on the streams of CBS News and NBC News. So there it is again. They put it under MSNBC. They got it under France 24. They got it under CBS News Network. Why is YouTube adding information to these videos that seems tailor-made to make people think it's a terror attack? I asked Google and got this statement from a spokesman. We are deeply saddened by the ongoing fire at the Notre Dame Cathedral. Last year, we launched information panels with links to third-party sources like Encyclopedia Britannica and Wikipedia for subject to misinformation. These panels are triggered algorithmically, and our systems sometimes make the wrong call. We are disabling these panels for live streams related to the fire. Now, it's funny because the other day every time you went on to any, you saw any video that was talking about Ilhan Omar and her comments, that same September 11 tech panel came up. So apparently this is an algorithm thing. You may remember those information panels from where they were announced at South by Southwest last year with CEO Susan Wojcicki, blah, 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 saying that, quote, when there are videos that are focused around something that's a conspiracy. Funny, I haven't seen those panels on any of the Russiagate nonsense. We are using a list of well-known internet conspiracies from Wikipedia. Then we will show a companion unit of information from Wikipedia showing that here is information about the event. So it's basically mind control by YouTube, and they're doing it algorithmically. That well-intentioned effort faced criticism on a couple of fronts. Google's YouTube would be freeloading on the backs of unpaid Wikipedia editors. And those info boxes with a link to Wikipedia risked infecting that comparatively conspiracy-resistant platform with a bunch of YouTube crazies. Oh, well, there's the problem, really. You might send some YouTube crazies over there to do some editing over Wikipedia. Yeah, that's the problem. YouTube has expanded that effort in a few ways over time, including showing the boxes when someone searches for conspiracy-friendly terms, even if they don't click through to a video, and using similar methods to denote news organizations that receive government funding. No, wait. So I'm going to skip that part. Update, a few quick follow-ups since the story is now picked up at other sites. First, here's a preview example of the 9/11 info box being added to an unrelated video. Okay, so yeah, they put it completely okay. Interesting. Anyway, so yeah, YouTube in their effort at mind control, thought policing, actually kind of help spread a little conspiracy on their own. So interesting. All right, so that's that. Um, Man, yeah, that thing though, I had some images, but I accidentally closed that window. Um, and here's an interesting article from the American Thinker about the Notre Dame Theater. And I as I read it, I was kind of like, wow, it's kind of how I felt. So I'm just going to read this one too a little bit. In the news, excuse me, the news that Notre Dame Cathedral was on fire knocked the breath out of me. I felt the same way. I was amazed at my emotional reaction to the destruction of a building I've never visited, a building created by the corrupt medieval Roman Catholic Church, a building so old that it should be irrelevant. But it isn't. We're all heartbroken. Why? Now, just a side note, let's see. Was it last year? It was no, in 2017. My daughter, my wife, and my daughter's grandmother toured Notre Dame Cathedral. And so, man, my wife was very, very upset about this. I haven't talked to my daughter about it yet. My daughter, who's fluent in French, that was the language she took in high school and continued in college, and she's fluent in French. And so that was her college graduation gift to go to Paris. And they toured the cathedral. So I know they're very sad. But anyway, Notre Dame, I'll say it the correct way. Hello, Sheograph. Hello, Lindsay. How are you? Notre Dame lives in us all. It is romance, danger, and transcendence. It is there as a backdrop for many of the movies, of the plays, of the novels we've loved. I can still access the corner of my brain where Quasimodo is laboring up the bell tower steps. It stands tall in the background of Les Miserables, The Tale of Two Cities, Le Crème de Sylvestre Bonnard, the first book I read in French. That takes me back to my high school days and my eccentric Francophile French teacher, whose main curriculum was showing us 3D color slides of Paris. She'd make us turn in our seats so that we were oriented in the proper direction as we gazed at the shots of the Eiffel Tower, the Bastille, and of course, and most often, Notre Dame. It sits there as literal crossroads of France. All distances are measured from a ground zero plaque on the pavement in front of the cathedral. That place is literally the center of all that is French. It stands as a monument to Christianity and its foundational role in the stabilization of medieval Europe. It embodies the reverence for tradition, for art, for innovation, for beauty, for holiness. It houses 9 bells in its almost twin towers. And the lightning rod on the spire, now totally destroyed, held relics from St. Denis and St. Genevieve, Paris patron saints. I don't even believe in patron saints, let alone relics, but I mourn the loss of those tiny bits of history. History, time, is a frustrating dimension. We retain so little of the past, even though we have this sensation that it's important and foundational. We have history books, but they tell us little about the daily lives of those who have gone before, of the millions of souls who have knelt in prayer on Notre Dame's stone floor. The computer age makes it possible for us to fanatically keep records, but those are more numerical than personal and contain little of what moves us, what worries us, or what brings us joy. One can, however, stand in the midst of such a cathedral, gaze up at its Gothic arch roof and its storytelling stained glass windows, and know that such a building does address those issues. It is a 3-dimensional time travel, and this fire has just closed that portal. It is also a peak at devotion, a long-term commitment. The construction of Notre Dame began in 1160 with the demolition of an older church on that site. It wasn't completed until the 14th century, when flying buttresses were added to the asp and choir. We can barely grasp in our whiz-bang, instant everything society what it must be like to start a building something that won't be finished for 200 years, to work at completing something that was begun by people long dead. The building was a monument to a slower, more patient, more selfless life. It also memorialized a worldview where God was everywhere and always had been. That God had power over every aspect of life, and one just couldn't ignore him. There he was in that magnificent building that quite insistently pointed upwardly toward heaven. It was a long-standing, patiently aimed skyward, it was still standing, patiently aimed skyward during the French Revolution and its attendant bloodbath. It lived through 2 world wars, but now, with all of the West struggling to hold on to its meaning and its place in the world, Notre Dame burns. We know that Europe is in terrible trouble. It is no longer replacing its population except for an influx of anti-Christian, anti-Semitic Muslim refugees. We know its cathedral sits mostly empty for Mass. We know that most of Europe bows to the government, but no longer to the church. France is fraught with violent behavior from those it has tried to help and by taxes that are draining its economy. And Europe, including Great Britain, is America's mother. Europe is family. I can trace my lineage back to a watchmaker in Switzerland in the 16th century, a maid from Copenhagen, and a tailor from Czechoslovakia. This is the author, not me. Most of us come from Europe, and most of us come from Europe and those homelands caught on the fire this morning. It isn't just the loss of an old building, but the loss of our beginnings. Notre Dame stood proud and tall to remind us of that. But she has been dealt a mortal blow. She may be repairable, but she is not replaceable. The craftsmanship that laboriously built her is no longer available, and no one today wants to wait 200 years. It's as if all those centuries have been erased. This fire reminds us that even the most permanent human accomplishments aren't permanent at all. Even the best we can build can be destroyed. We will be waiting to see what or who caused this disaster, but we also know that we may not be told the truth. And this is written by Deanna Caldwell. She blogs at www. A Single Window. She is an adjunct professor and department head at Pacific Bible College in Southern Oregon. She teaches writing and public speaking. So yeah, that's I read that whole thing because it is very, very close to what I am feeling about the fire there, and it's just it's really sad. So, all right, hi again. We are in. If you just got here, just came in. We're here at the Morning Light Live. P-Dog has his coffee, of course, and the share button's still down here, and the like button, and all that stuff. And then also in the chat, every once in a while, you'll see the Streamlabs link. And since I did hear the noise. Let's see what we got. Good morning, C. Thomas. Thank you very much for the $2 super chat via Streamlabs. If you want to do super chats, I don't have monetization through YouTube, and YouTube takes more of your money anyway instead of where you want it to go. So the link is in the description. Thank you, Sarah, for dropping that in there. C. Thomas, L. Goodasboyo, aka Corbin. Thank you for the $2. I can only hope that my theory is wrong. I want it to be wrong, but if it turns out to be right, all I can say, it's time for, in the tradition of culture that built Notre Dame, is Deus Vult. You know what? I hear that all the time. I don't know what that means. Maybe I should look it up. Deus Vult. Let's get it for those who are like me and have heard it but never bothered to figure out what it means. Deus Vult is a Catholic motto associated with the Crusades, more specifically with the Prince's Crusade of 1096 to 1099. The phrase appears in the Vulgate translation of the Christian Bible. So that's related to the Crusades. Well, you know what? Here, let's do this. Let's see what this. Okay, that doesn't work. I was going to read a Reddit post, but it's. Oh, well, it's also on Know Your Meme. Here, let's read the. Nope. Oh, you sure you want to go there? Maybe Know Your Meme, baby. Risky to visit. I'm not going there, baby. I don't know why McAfee is, damn, it even made me do this shit. Okay. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, in the chat, Corbin says Deus Vult means God wills it, and that it's related to the Crusades. The Crusades, it's one of those very misunderstood periods in history, or at least, and I think sometimes willfully misunderstood. It's a lot of people seem to want to believe that the Crusades were something that the Christians, the Catholics, whoever started, and actually it was a reaction. But I'm not going to get too deep into that. I'm feeling a little melancholy today, and something that can help me with that. You know what can help me with my melancholy? Of course, it's the funk. Oh, I'm feeling a little better already. Can y'all hear that? Yes, Lindsay, some 70s porn music. If you think the funk is 70 porn music, then porn away, baby, porn away. Whatever the hell that meant. All right, now I'm going to get into a couple articles here. Now, yesterday, it almost like, if you haven't felt the excitement that comes with the announcement of every new presidential candidate, I have absolutely no idea how you couldn't feel the rush in your heart and in your soul of the announcement that came yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, I am it was the announcement that rocked the world. And I'm talking about Bill Weld makes his 2020 campaign official in hopes of beating Trump on the right. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Bill Weld is finally running for president. I kid you not, and the whole world is reeling from this announcement, this amazing announcement. Everyone is so who the hell? Oh my gosh. Bill Weld. President Donald Trump has a new Republican primary challenger, former Massachusetts Governor Bill Weld, who made his 2020 run official on Monday. I'm in, Weld wrote on a Twitter Monday afternoon, adding the hashtag Weld2020. Hot damn! Finally, Bill Weld is in the race. I was wondering when that man was going to run for president. Weld formed a presidential exploratory committee in February for a Republican challenge to Trump. He said he was planning to make a decision in April. Weld was on the ticket as a Libertarian vice presidential candidate in 2016. Weld already has campaign stops lined up, including a diner tour in a couple of New Hampshire towns Tuesday and a job growth town hall in Londonderry, New Hampshire, Wednesday. Fascinating. A job growth town hall. What's been happening for the last couple of years in our fair country? Job growth. Okay, well, that's good. He's going to be talking about the job growth that's been happening. And, the unemployment rate's pretty low. But hey, you know what? You can never have enough job growth, I don't think, unless you run out of people to fill the jobs, which you're kind of doing, but that's okay. There's always people who want to work. Weld has claimed that he will be competitive in progressive areas like New England and California. Interesting. He said his campaign would actively seek support from suburban women, millennials, and independent voters. I think politically the president and I have not very much in common at all. That might be an appealing way to cast a vote. That would make a difference, he said. Weld was elected governor twice by the people of Massachusetts. He served from 1991 to 1997. He resigned during his second term after former President Bill Clinton nominated him as U.S. ambassador to Mexico. But Weld was ultimately not confirmed. He was also Gary Johnson's presidential running mate in 2016. There has been also been speculation that Republican Maryland Governor Larry Hogan could toss his hat into the ring to challenge Trump in 2020 as well. Hogan has said he was waiting until Special Counsel Robert Mueller issues a report on his findings before deciding what to do. Speaking of that report, that bad boy's coming out on Thursday. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, fire up. Bill Weld is in. Woohoo! I know y'all can't contain yourself right now. Ha ha! You know you ready for some Bill Weld, right? Yeah, feel the excitement. Okay, that's Bill Weld. Let's see. I had an article about. Speaking of that report that's coming out, that little what's the dude's name? Robert Mueller. You know who it is. What'd I do there? That was a mistake. Good thing I didn't do that while it was on screen. Not that it would have mattered all that much. Let's do this the right way. About that report, guess what? The redacted Mueller report to drop on Thursday. On Thursday, the Justice Department is expected to release the redacted version of the Special Counsel Robert Mueller's report into possible collusion between Russia and Donald Trump campaign in 2016. The report... the report that... Attorney General Bill Barr has already reported that Mueller concluded there was no collusion, although reports have suggested the Mueller report represents arguments for and against claims that Trump obstructed justice. Well, here's the thing. Bueller? Here's the thing. To claim obstruction of justice. Well, it doesn't seem... I don't understand. Maybe it's just me and I don't understand the argument for it. But it seems as if there's no more indictments and because none of the indictments so far have really had to do with the so-called Russian collusion question. All the indictments have been little process things and, some like Manafort and his little financial dealings beforehand. Oh, by the way, did you know that, did I mention this yesterday, that former Obama White House counsel was also indicted on those charges? Interesting, because he used to work with Manafort. Anyway, how can you have obstruction of justice if there's no justice to obstruct? That's a tough argument, And also, really, did the president really? Yeah, he fired Comey, but he fired Comey at the suggestion of the independent counsel, or whatever, the IG report. So that's why he fired Comey. It's not like that. And then McCabe was fired also because of something like that. I mean, it wasn't like he was obstructing those things. And he didn't stop the investigation. He didn't obstruct Mueller at all. I don't know. Anyway, President Trump is welcoming the upcoming report, but warned about the investigation leading up to it. The Mueller report, which was written by 18 angry Democrats who also happen to be Trump haters and Clinton supporters, should have focused on the people who spied on my 2016 campaign and others who fabricated the whole Russia hoax. That is, never forget the crime, the president tweeted. Since there was no collusion, why was there an investigation in the first place? Answer, dirty cops, Dems, and crooked Hillary, the president added. In any case, the redacted Mueller report is expected to drop Thursday, Reuters reported. This means full analysis of the report will come out on Friday, and Friday is Good Friday, the day Western Christians remember the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Eastern Orthodox Christians celebrate Good Friday 1 week later. Ironically, this means the Trump-Russia collusion narrative will likely be crucified on the same day as Jesus Christ. Obviously, I didn't read this article before I started reading it. That is quite humorous. The investigation into the ways former President Barack Obama's Department of Justice spied on the Trump campaign is likely forthcoming. Barr announced plans to launch such an investigation. And there are people up in arms about Mr. Barr using the word spying, even though he was in a hearing the other day, and someone asked him about why he liked to use the word spying or mention the word spying. So he decided to go and say, yes, I think there was spying. And the Democrats lost their mind. They're all very pissed off. And they used their favorite word of the month, which is dangerous. Did I mention that dangerous is the talking point of the month? Two things. Dangerous. Anything the president does is dangerous. And when it comes to Ilhan Omar, their favorite phrase is inciting violence. Okay, their words or actions are inciting violence. So you're hearing those words over and over and over over the last week or so. So this particular thing, by using the word spying, it is dangerous. Well, let's talk about Bill Barr and why the Democrats are so mad that he uses the word spying. Okay, and this is an article from the Federalist, obviously a right-leaning source. Okay, good morning, Maniac Man. I just see you popped in. Anyone else new? Okay, I think Faithless. Hello, how you doing? Welcome. And I think I'm caught up here. Why Democrats freaked out when Barr said the Trump campaign was spied on. We're in an era where politicians and the media cheer on and cover up actions resembling third world police state activity that further their political cause. There are two reasons the political media establishment is growing increasingly hostile towards Attorney General William Barr. First, he serves under President Donald Trump. Second, he is not only the messenger of the demise of the Russiagate conspiracy theory that the deep state and its aiders, abettors, and enablers in the political media establishment work so hard to perpetuate, but he could also be the source of the demise of the establishment itself. Remember that phrase Donald Trump likes to use, drain the swamp? It feels like it's almost going to start happening if he ends up exposing the whole sordid affair. Should Barr conduct a thorough investigation of the Russiagate investigators and the associated leakers and colluders and dispense justice to the fullest extent of the law, it would drive a stake through the heart of the establishment writ large by demolishing the unjust system of double standards from which it has benefited while punishing its foes. Now, that's dangerous. Speaking of dangerous, I'm not sure I like that phraseology. Because I don't think it should be punishing foes. I think it should just be meting out justice. Okay? It should have nothing to do about punishing your foes. It should be about enforcing the law and stopping this type of partisan use of the apparatus against your enemies, which I think kind of was, if you really, I've been reading a lot about this and listening to a lot of voices in different places, and it just seems like this was some dirty stuff, man. I mean, come on. The Hillary campaign and the DNC paid this company to get this dossier from this dude who's getting the information from the Russia. Who conspired with the Russians here? I mean, it was directly paid for by the DNC and Hillary Clinton through Perkins Coie was the law firm that paid Fusion GPS, that paid Christopher Steele, that paid Russian informants to dig up dirt on Donald Trump. And then the person who writes the dossier leaks parts of it to the media. So the media is reporting on this stuff, and then he brings out the dossier to make it look like, oh, there's more than one source. Paid for by the Democratic National Committee and Hillary Clinton campaign. It was circular. The guy leaked it to the media and then brings out the report so that you have it coming from more than one place. Poof, FISA warrants. It's amazing. And that's, if you really listen to all the reports, that is exactly what happened. Share it. Oh, we did the share thing yesterday. Yes, that was hilarious. Let me check the super chat real quick from C. Thomas, donating $2 again. Thank you, sir. If I had $1 for every time these media hacks said dangerous or incitement, I'd be living it up in a condo in the middle of Chicago. Hey, you might live next door to Jesse Smollett. Be careful, though. There's some people running around in MAGA hats looking for, well, I guess you're not gay or black. Well, I don't know if you're gay or black. If you're gay or black, or if you're, not gay or black. If you're gay and black, that's when you should worry if you're running around Chicago, because those dudes coming around there in MAGA country. It's MAGA country. Remember that? I used to say that a lot. Alrighty then. Let's get back into this article. Latest round of hand-wringing over the Attorney General superficially concerns the utter gall he exhibited by revealing the verboten truth before a Senate Appropriations Committee, a truth Americans have known for months. The U.S. government spied on the Trump campaign. That's a fact. Even if they happen to get court approval, it's still spying. You're still spying on their campaign. Here's the full exchange, which contains the needed context frequently ignored in the reporting on the hearing. Let me see if they have a video of this. They do not. Let's just read this real quick, and then we're going to go on. Attorney General Barr. As I said in my confirmation hearing, I am going to be reviewing both the genesis and the conduct of intelligent activities directed at the Trump campaign during 2016. And a lot of this has already been investigated, and a substantial portion of it has been investigated and is being investigated by the Office of the Inspector General. But one of the things I want to do is to pull everything together from various investigations that have gone on, including on the Hill and in the Justice Department, and see if there's any remaining questions to be addressed. Senator Jeanne Shaheen. And can you share with us why you feel a need to do that? Really, Jeanne Shaheen? Really? Really? Oh my God. Attorney General Barr's answer. Well, for the same reason we're worried about foreign influence in elections. We want to make sure that during elections, I think spying on a political campaign is a big deal. It's a big deal. The generation I grew up in, which is the Vietnam War period, people were all concerned about spying on anti-war people and so forth by the government. And there were a lot of rules put in place to make sure that there's an adequate basis before our law enforcement agencies get involved in political surveillance. I'm not suggesting that those rules were violated, but I think it's important to look at that. And I'm not talking about the FBI necessarily, but intelligence agencies more broadly. Senator Shaheen. So you're not suggesting, though, that spying occurred, AG Barr. Well, I guess I think spying did occur, yes. I think spying did occur. Shaheen, well, Barr. The question was whether it was adequately predicated. And I'm not suggesting it wasn't adequately predicated. I need to explore that. I think it's my obligation. Congress is usually very concerned about intelligence agencies and law enforcement agencies staying in their proper lane. I want to make sure that happens. We have a lot of rules about that. I also want to make it clear. This is not launching an investigation of the FBI. Frankly, to the extent that there were any issues at the FBI, I do not view it as a problem that's endemic to the FBI. I think there was probably a failure among a group of leaders there at the upper echelon. So I don't like to hear attacks about the FBI because I think the FBI is an outstanding organization, and I think Chris Wray is a great partner for me. I'm very pleased he's there as director. If it becomes necessary to look over some former officials' activities, I expect I'll be relying heavily on Chris and work closely with him in looking at that information. But that's what I'm doing. I feel I have an obligation to make sure that government power is not abused. I think that's one of the principal roles of the Attorney General. Okay. So the totality of Barr's testimony shows that contrary to the portrayal by his critics as some kind of Trump stooge, he was quite measured in his word and took great pains to defend the FBI. Nevertheless, his interlocutor, Senator Jeanne Shaheen, was dumbfounded, and her Democratic colleagues were perturbed. Brian Schatz, Democrat Hawaii, asked Barr to atone for his thought crime, saying the use of the word spying was provocative and unnecessary inflammatory coming from someone of Barr's position. It could cause everybody in the cable news ecosystem to freak out, Barr replied. I'm not sure of all the connotations that the word spying, but blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure of all of the connotations of that word, but unauthorized surveillance, I want to make sure there was no unauthorized surveillance. It's unfortunate that the Attorney General was reduced to euphemism here, since spying is exactly what transpired, but unsurprising given Barr was responding to a hostile group of questioners. Yet one wonders, why does Schatz think it is the responsibility of someone whose job to seek the truth to parse language based upon how pundits might react? And does Schatz think it is more provocative and inflammatory that a presidential campaign was spied on by a national security apparatus under control of the opposing party, his party, or that Barr called it as it is? And that's the thing, you know what? The entire apparatus, like you said, was controlled by the Democrats, and all of a sudden you have this apparatus going in and just trying to spy on your campaign under some flimsy dossier that was paid for by this same party and the other candidate. It's it's really, really sketchy at best. All right, Chuck, and then Chuck Schumer tweets. Oh, you know how they always like to say Republicans pounced? Well, this, I see you caught that, Faithless. Democrats pounced on Barr's comments. Whether it's defending here it is. Whether it's defending the administration's dangerous healthcare lawsuit or perpetuating conspiracy theories, Mr. Barr is acting more like the president's campaign spokesman than the independent attorney general he's supposed to be. Of course, Chuck Schumer, you smarmy. Anyway, I almost called him a cracker. I'm sorry. It was just that word came out because it was funny to me, and I don't know why. Nancy Pelosi. Attorney General Barr is not the Attorney General of Donald Trump. He's the Attorney General of the United States, and about time he started acting like it. Blah, 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 blah. My House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer said, Barr, is acting like an employee of the president. I believe the Attorney General believes he needs to protect the president of the United States. No, I think he should be protecting the rights of future candidates, regardless of which party they are, to be free from this type of bullshit. Yes, I did say the word bullshit. Where's my swear jar? It's around here somewhere. I don't care. Mana Raju's Barr comments here bound to please Trump, who has railed on the handling of the Russia probe. Yeah, good. He should be railing on it. We're finding out more and more about it, and it is bullshit. I think spying on a political campaign is a big deal, Barr said. He said he's not suggesting those rules are violated and wants to know what happened. I think spying did occur. Okay. 2 points on Barr and spying. The use of spying, quote unquote, is obviously a loaded term and one that Trump favors. 2, surveillance of Carter Page came after he left the Trump campaign. So what? Sorry, I had to just stop a minute. Can y'all hear that? I like that groove. Anyway, the Democrats are up in arms over the word spying, but you know what? We're going to find out more in 2 days. Apparently, I guess, I'm not going to read any more of this. Well, that was it anyway. Oh, no, there's a whole bunch more, but I'm not going to read this. How dare Barr tell the truth? Yeah, really. Anyway, this article is in the Federalist. You can read the rest yourself. By the way, the Mueller report, I understand it's going to come out, it's going to be color-coded. Whatever that means. I guess they're going to have it color-coded to make it easier to read. It is 400 pages. I just find it funny that, so this they're putting out on a Thursday before Good Friday because a lot of people take Good Friday off. So it's almost like doing a Friday news dump. Maybe not exactly, but it's really interesting that they're doing it on a Thursday before Good Friday. Anyway, let's see. Did I hear another beep thing? I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. 12 minutes ago, if I had done. Okay, that's the same one. All right. Next article. I'm only gonna do a few Twitter trends a day. I feel like I've been doing that too much and not really bringing out the articles I want. And also, I want to start doing. Oh, now I just clicked back. I got the little BBB thing. C. Thomas, thank you, sir. $2 for a super chat. C. Thomas says the Democrats are crying about how Barr wants to look into all the bullshit gay ops. Okay, that's a term that Hard Bastard uses. You should, if you are not subscribed, excuse me. It's a channel called Hard Bastard. He's been analyzing the whole Russiagate thing for quite a long time. He does a great job. And also he takes down the Young Turks and David Pakman, and I can't remember what bald fuckface's name is, but that dude, he's terrible. But it's a real good channel. You should subscribe. Anyway, the Democrats are crying about how Barr wants to look into all the bullshit gay ops these dickless assholes were doing. Fuck their bullshit and fuck their childish authoritarian mentality. Those fuck what? Fuckwise? Like the last word, FFUCKWIYS. Oh, fuck. I don't know what that means. Those fuck. Put it in the regular chat, Corbin. I'm not sure what that last that was supposed to be. Jimmy Dore does a great job with this too. Yes, he does. And I don't agree with much Jimmy Dore says, but he is the one thing Jimmy Dore is, regardless if I agree with him or not. Jimmy Dore is honest. And he's absolutely correct as far as it goes with the whole Russian thing. So yeah, definitely. And the childish act of spying is revealing. Spying is such a harsh way to describe our actions. If our enemies did something similar, we'd call it that. But calling it on us is harsh. Yes, and dangerous. Good morning, Black Romeo, by the way. You snuck in on me there. Good job. Can I turn down the music a little bit? I sure can. I can't tell from my end how loud it is for you, so I will turn that down a little bit. Or I could just talk louder. That would help too. But let's see here. That should have gone down just a little bit. Anyway, honest does not equal correct. Right. I agree. I'm not, and I absolutely don't I agree with you. Honest does not equal correct. Right, and that's why I say I don't agree with Jimmy Dore, but he's not going to bullshit you. That's what I'm saying. I don't agree with a vast majority of his ideas on how the government should work. But I like watching him and listening to him because he's completely honest. He doesn't, he can be honest or you could be super wrong. But I appreciate honesty. He's not going to be controlled by the corporate bullshit. Jimmy Dore is not controlled. It's controlled by who? I think just the opposite. Puppet? Not by the Young Turks. You know he left the Young Turks, right? In fact, that's why he and the Young Turks have been fighting. And they won't admit it's a fight, but you can see it when they've interacted. But he's just a dumbass. I mean, not a dumbass. He's not a dumbass. He's just wrong. He's wrong. I'll give him that. He's wrong. Sank's a liar. Sank's a corporate puppet, even though he tries not to be. He pretends he's not. All right. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. All right, let's see. Let's click that one close. We didn't do that one. Oh, you know what? By the way, this kind of pissed me off. If y'all are familiar with Dan Crenshaw, Dan Crenshaw is the Republican congressman from Texas. He's a Afghan war vet. Lost his eye in a I think it was a IED blast. Pretty low key guy. He's not excitable. Very, very good at articulating a position. Well, apparently there's some people pissed off at Dan Crenshaw. Obviously, the people who support Ilhan Omar. Wounded war vet Representative Dan Crenshaw mocked, called names, accused of inciting violence for criticizing Representative Ilhan Omar. Representative Dan Crenshaw, Republican Texas, an Afghan war veteran who lost an eye in an IED attack, is now under an avalanche of leftist mockery simply for daring to suggest that Representative Ilhan Omar, Democrat Minnesota, I hate saying that. I really hate saying that. Anyway, downplayed the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks when she referred to them as "some people did something" in a speech last week. Crenshaw has been derided by the left, the Washington Examiner reports, and mocked for having sustained a war wound in the days since he tweeted that Omar was the first member of Congress to ever describe terrorists who killed thousands of Americans on 9/11 as "some people who did something." Unbelievable. Initially, the criticism aimed at Crenshaw was just strange. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Democrat in New York, for example, accused Crenshaw of failing to address terrorism because he did not sign on as a co-sponsor to a bill making federal health benefits for 9/11 survivors permanent. Omar is a co-sponsor. Yeah, that was the weirdest attack. You got to remember, not only was Crenshaw battling actual terrorists while Omar was plotting a run for Congress and deriding the existence of Israel on social media, but the bill doesn't require supporters to become co-sponsors. And it's not clear Crenshaw doesn't support the common sense measure. The House has yet to vote on the bill. So how could she say that it doesn't support the bill? Anyway, over the weekend, though, Crenshaw posted a video of himself defending his criticism and calling for deference for 9/11 victims in an interview with NBC. That's when all hell really broke loose. Let's see, how long is this? Let's watch this little. Let's watch what Dan Crenshaw says here.
It's terrorists who killed almost 3,000 Americans, and we should talk about it that way. We should talk about it with deference.
Now, by the way, notice how measured he speaks. He's not raging. He's not being disrespectful. He's just stating some interesting, his opinion in a very calm way. All right, let me continue this.
And it was not taken out of context, by the way. There's a lot of claims that it was. Of course it wasn't. And I think everyone should just look at the clip and decide for themselves. And I don't think it's out of line to simply call that out and criticize it.
CARE was founded after 9/11 because they recognized that some people did something and that all of us were starting to lose access to our civil liberties.
And all Representative Omar had to do was really, I don't know, explain herself. Say whatever she wants. Say she didn't mean it. I don't know. Diffuse the situation, but don't double down. All right, don't play the victim card. Don't start making accusations of me. I mean, I just think that was uncalled for. I mean, this is the height of partisanship, when we can't just come together and properly assume that we should not diminish the acts of 9/11 by saying things like some people did something. Okay, that's not what happened, and we should come together and take note of that. You know, one of the most disappointing things of this entire controversy that I've seen is, again, these members from New York, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Max Rose, trying to deflect the attention from Omar by attacking me, claiming that I'm not for 9/11 first responders. This is a really dishonest attack. I'm going to tell you how I am for 9/11 victims and 9/11 first responders. I'm the guy who went overseas to make sure this never happened again, to take the fight to the enemy that committed these attacks. I would go back and do it every day if I could. So to say that kind of attack, again, that is the height of partisanship, and I'm really disappointed in them for saying that, especially coming from you.
Okay, so that's what he said. And so now, and this has been over the last couple days, Talia Levin, already making a name for herself, asking why anyone should treat September 11th as sacred, responded by calling Crenshaw Captain Shithead. Oh, that's lovely. Let me... freelance writer Bob Rosso, apparently determined to elevate the conversation, decided to go after Crenshaw for his missing eye, tweeting, "You're deliberately lying about what she said, you eyeless fuck." Twitter eventually removed Rosso's masterpiece of a tweet. Others went for the well-trod territory, calling Crenshaw a Nazi and a fascist. Yes, he sounds fascist. By the way, I do have a super chat here. C. Thomas Corbin, L. Goodest boy. Omar is an Islamist retard and she deserves mockery and scorn. She and her ilk are parasites. Fuck Omar, her Islamist beliefs, care, and everything the rest of those progressive scum Fs hold dear. The cancerous traitor scum. Okay, that's a very strong opinion, and that's from Corbin C. Thomas. Thank you for the $2, sir. Okay, let's see. The criticism wasn't just limited to social media. At some point Saturday, criticism of Omar became de facto incitement of violence, because that was the words of the day. And Crenshaw was repeatedly accused of encouraging death threats and threats of physical harm. You know, it's always funny to me. So, these people like to say that words are violence, and, you know, you can't be racist, sexist, Islamophobic, homophobic, ableist, fat shaming, you know, all the words, you know. But then they go after him in clearly an ableist hate speech, calling him an eyeless fuck. Isn't that special? Media reports that SiriusXM Senior Director of Progressive Programming, Zerlina Maxwell, appearing on an MSNBC panel Sunday morning, suggested that he has taken Omar out of context on purpose, specifically to generate more death threats against her. Wow. Did he sound like he was trying to generate death threats for Ms. Omar? Representative Omar? I'm not buying it, y'all. I'm not buying it. We need to clearly and unequivocally support Ilhan Omar. And Donald Trump, the president of these United States, is putting her life in danger on purpose. She told host Alex Witt, "It's not like he's accidentally doing this. He's purposely and intentionally putting her life in danger. At this moment, we need to speak up for Ilhan Omar and defend her. She's a mother with children, and now her life is in danger." Witt responded, "Amen." Yeah. You know what? It's a strategy. I'm tired of the strategy. They're these Ilhan Omar, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and Rashid Tlaib are trying to use the the impenetrable shield of Islamophobic, or you're criticizing, brown women of color, Muslim women of color, or this and that. It's clearly a strategy. You got to just see what the strategy is. It's crazy. Anyway, all right. Now, real quick, let's see. What was my last? I do have one more here, I think. Let's get back into the right spot here. Hi there. By the way, the Morning Light Live is sponsored by you, the viewers of the Morning Light Live. Make sure you share, hit the share button, send it out, do whatever you got to do. I'm putting up little clips here and there. You can also support us through Streamlabs if you want something specifically read in the super chats. And even when we're not here, if you feel generous, feel free to hit that Streamlabs link. I've been very happy with how y'all have been, though, that you all just the fact that y'all come and see me on a daily basis. All right. I do have one last article, and then we're going to get into Twitter trends. I found this one interesting. Now, this is from the American Spectator, which is also right-leaning. And it's just another one of those things, man. It's just, everyone's just doubling down on this stuff, man. It kills me. Apparently, an Obama judge compares Trump to the KKK. Yes. Oh, God. Here we go. When Chief Justice John Roberts pompously admonished President Trump last year, making the preposterous claim that we do not have Obama or Trump judges, Carlton Reeves evidently failed to get the memo. This Obama appointee in the United States District Court for the Southern District of Mississippi is a textbook example of a partisan jurist who ignores the law and the will of voters as expressed through their elected representatives. Indeed, Judge Reeves has now escalated his activism by attacking the president and comparing him to a long line of white supremacist Democrats and their partners in the KKK. Late last week, Reeves visited the University of Virginia to accept the Thomas Jefferson Foundation Medal in Law. Wait a minute. He accepted an award named after a slave owner? How dare he? But I digress. And used his acceptance speech to launch a thinly veiled attack on President Trump. What did the president do to incur the judge's wrath? He had the temerity to say aloud what most Americans already believe, that leftist partisans like Reeve have presided over countless perversions of justice and sincerely damaged the public's trust in the judiciary. Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett. Excuse me. Evidently, in an attempt to shield himself and his fellow travelers from further Trump criticism, Judge Reeves delivered himself this Orwellian diatribe. When politicians attack courts as dangerous, political, and guilty of egregious overreach, you can hear the Klan's lawyers assailing officers of the court across the South. And when the executive branch calls our courts and their work stupid, horrible, ridiculous, incompetent, a laughingstock, and a complete total disgrace, you can hear the slurs and threats of executives like George Wallace echoing into the president. Now, when I read that, because I hadn't read this whole article, I did read the article, but even before I read the next paragraph, a couple things came immediately to mind. First of all, why he invokes George Wallace. That's fascinating because George Wallace, as we're going to learn in the next paragraph, wasn't a Republican. He was a Democrat. And he remained a Democrat until 1968 when he ran for president as an independent. But I digress because this is, here we go. Judge Reeves neglects to note that the Klan lawyers whom he refers to were, like the man who appointed him, Democrats. Likewise, he fails to mention that George Wallace was a lifelong member of that party, but for a brief stint as an independent in 1968. Indeed, the Reeves rant is uniquely notable for its omissions, like his failure to mention that the authors of the Southern Manifesto, whose echoes he allegedly hears in Trump's criticism, were also Democrats. He then has the crust to reverently invoke Brown versus Board of Education, the landmark civil rights ruling handed down by a Supreme Court led by a Republican Chief Justice. Wow. It will be obvious, standing auditor of the judge's speech, that he isn't really worried about civil rights or his fictitious third great assault on our judiciary, as he styles the president's frequent criticism of the courts. He blindly obvious that Reed is far more concerned that the era of leftist judges legislating from the bench is at long last drawing to a close. And he is right to be worried. President Trump and the Republican majority in the Senate are reshaping the federal judiciary at a rate that is making the Democrats very nervous indeed. As Ronna McDaniel, chairwoman of the Republican National Committee, points out, President Trump has delivered 93 federal judges so far, including 2 Supreme Court justices, 37 Circuit Court judges, 30 of whom were confirmed during his first 2 years, and 54 District Court judges. Under his administration, the number of circuit courts with Democratic appointed majorities has fallen from 9 to 7. Last month, President Trump flipped the Third Circuit to a Republican appointed majority. He brought the 11th Circuit to an even split. So yeah, I'm not going to read the rest, but they are nervous, and so then you get even judges who are calling Trump trying to call Trump a KKK member, blah blah blah. So yeah, you know. This shit gets old. Can't we all get along? Really? Come on, y'all. We gotta get along. Oh, I thought now I have one quick video that I thought I found some humor in here. And so this is if you weren't aware, Bernie Sanders did a town hall meeting on the Fox News channel. Now, he got a lot of shit from Democrats, but, you know, I absolutely respect Bernie Sanders for doing this, okay? Because, you know what? He said himself that, you know what? There are a lot of people who watch Fox News or working class that, you know, that he wants to talk to everybody. He doesn't just want to talk to people, he doesn't only want to talk to people on his side. He wants to talk to everybody. If you want to be the president of everybody, you should try and talk to everybody. Well, he did a town hall, and I thought this little 1-minute clip was very, very instructive. So here we go. I found some humor in it.
That's fine, but I'm asking you about the wealthy and how much higher you would make it. You said you don't agree with 70%. What would your number be?
In the campaign in 2016, we talked about 52%.
All right, so 52%. So would you be willing to pay 52% on the money that you made?
Awesome.
You can volunteer. You can send a check.
Oh, you can volunteer too. We have a...
But you suggested that that's what everybody in your bracket should do.
Oh, shoot, I didn't have it on here. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. Here, put it back on. Here, let's make it so you can see it.
The wealthy and how much higher you would make it. You said you don't agree with 70%. What would your number be?
In the campaign in 2016, we talked about 52%.
All right, so 52%. So would you be willing to pay 52% on the money that you made?
Awesome.
You can volunteer. You can send a check.
Oh, you can volunteer too. We have a...
But you suggested that that's what everybody in your bracket should do.
And Martha, why don't you give? You make more money than I do.
Well,
Why don't you
I
give?
didn't suggest a wealth tax.
And she's not running for president.
All right, but we're going to fight for a wealth tax. And we're going to demand that we end the absurdity where major corporation after major corporation, you know what,
Yeah,
in
but I'm
this
talking
tax bill...
I've always been waiting for someone to suggest that directly to a politician. Well, you know, you want to raise taxes to this X amount, you know, 52% in Bernie's case. And Bernie, who has just recently... wow, is that music up really super loud? Oh, maybe it's just my headphones. You know, a lot of these politicians, oh, we should raise the taxes on the rich. Do they forget that they are the rich for the most part? I mean, Bernie Sanders, apparently he released his tax returns today. But he's a millionaire. He's a millionaire. Bernie Sanders has never had a job outside of government. He was elected to Congress as a young man. He's never had a job outside of Congress. Now, he's written a couple of books, and that I don't begrudge him for making money on books. Au contraire, good for him. And in fact, when people were talking about, well, how did you become a millionaire? And he was saying, well, yeah, if you sell a lot of books, you might become a billionaire. Well, hey, that's good old capitalism, Bernie. Did you give up any of that money? Did you donate that money to the poor? Did you give that money to somebody? So I always like when people ask that question of politicians. It doesn't happen often enough, in my personal opinion. So anyway, all right, we're going to kind of keep it light on the Twitter trends today because I wanted to do some other stuff. So let's get into Twitter trends, and me still lacking the Twitter trend music, but so let's click the right thing. All right, so number 1 on Twitter trends today. That wasn't a very good transition, was it? Oh man, you think after, what is this, my 65th show? What am I on? 67. This is my 67th episode of the Morning Night Live. You know, I think we're going to have a party here on my 100th episode. What do you think? Some kind of party. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Anyway, I'll do something with at 300 subscribers too. I wasn't going to, but the count has been going up slowly. I'm going to start I'm still making videos. I really am. We're getting there. Anyway, let's get into Twitter trends. And of course, it's a weekday, and our number 1 trending is Thursday Thoughts. Not Thursday Thoughts, but Thursday Thoughts. So let's check out what the top Thursday thought is. Oh, it's BitTube airtime. I always want to skip that one because they just have a knack for getting up there up top. See, Thomas, you got to go. Oh, we'll see you later, man. Thank you so much for the super chats. Everyone say goodbye to Corbin. He's got to head out. I'll run into you later, Corbin, probably in one of the other things that we frequent together. The number 1, the best one here, Gymshark, whatever that is, success doesn't come without failure. So don't let failure come without success. Yeah. You know, we talked about that the other day. You know, nothing, you don't learn as much if things come easy. You're much more likely to learn when you have something go wrong because now you know the possibilities and you can always improve. So that's not a bad one. Success doesn't come without failure. Interesting. Now the second one, if you do not change direction, you may end up where you're heading. Now it's funny, that kind of piggybacks on success doesn't come without failure, because if you have failure but you don't change the direction, you don't learn from that failure, you also don't get better. So that's the piggyback thought of the day. That's enough. Let's go to the next one. Number 2, number 2. What is number 2? Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson. Now, I normally don't like to talk about sports, but this is interesting. Russell Wilson's new deal with the Seattle Seahawks will make him the highest paid player in the NFL. That is fascinating. That is fascinating because I don't know how you can pay anyone more than Tom Brady. Granted, Tom Brady's... even Tom Brady late in his career is still doing that thing, man. Tom Brady's still awesome. And Russell Wilson, he's done great for the Seahawks. I guess the Seahawks really want to keep him. He's still pretty young, too. So I guess, I don't know. 104. Oh, wow. Clay Travis says, gotta say, Russell Wilson getting a $140 million contract and announcing it from bed with Sierra Lane beside him feels like dunking and hanging on the rim. Yeah, his wife is a fine individual, and he did it from, I guess I didn't know he did. Apparently he must have did a live something from his bed announcing his contract. Does it say on here? The new deal with the Seattle Seahawks will make Russell Wilson the highest paid player in the NFL. The quarterback announced the new contract agreement in a video posted from his Twitter account. Oh, here we go. Oh, Russell. Let's see if we can listen to this. Let's say a short one.
Hey, Seattle. We got a deal.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. So I'm gonna see y'all in the morning.
Okay, I don't know if you hear that. He said, Seattle, we got a deal. This is something about see you in the morning. That's just wrong. That's just wrong. That's like you said, just like dunking and hanging on the rim. I don't know if you're familiar with Sierra, but she's quite fine. She's a fine individual. She looks no. She don't look mannish. You just seeing her in bed with their one eye. She don't look mannish at all. She's a fine individual. Anyway, number 3, Notre Dame Cathedral fire. It hurts. It hurts. Paris fire official confirmed Notre Dame's main structure, including its iconic towers, have been saved and preserved. Here's some graphic damage to Notre Dame. The whole roof, this whole part here, from end to end, and the spire were destroyed. So this 1, 2, and 3. The choir, which is this area down here, and 5, they're damaged. And then the 3 rose windows, 6, 7, and 8, and the 2 bell towers are safe. So the rose windows are there's a giant stained glass window over there. There's one here, and there's 6, 7 on the front end. Those were all safe, and then these 2 bell towers, which are were all saved. So that's kind of the lowdown on the damage to Notre Dame. The rose window, which has encouraged so many faith in Jesus Christ, has survived. This was, man, just pictures from that fire. Oh, I'm not going to do that. Let's go back here. Let's close that. We'll go back to the Twitter there. Yeah, there's lots of images, man. If you saw it yesterday, it was just hard to even watch. But then again, you couldn't take your eyes off it. There were there's a bunch of live feeds going on watching that. That's an amazing photo there. Very, 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 very sad. Yeah, this is the one that I'm like, how? Now, the reason part of it looks so bad is because all that scaffolding there that was on the roof, it seemed like the fire seemed engulfed there, so it looked really, really bad. Like, look at the 2 photos here. Let's see if these are okay. There's the one. And then the next one here, you can see from a distance. This was just as the tower was beginning to fall. You can see right there in the picture that tower is leaning. That tower fell down, and it fell and pointed right down into the middle. It didn't like fall like flat. It tipped and pointed right down into the roof. So that was a crazy scene. All right, moving on to number 4. Tuesday motivation will skip. Number 5. PlayStation 5. Here's what's known about the PlayStation 5. Apparently, the PlayStation 5 is coming out. We're still not past the PlayStation 2. Of course, we're an Xbox family. That's probably why. Details here about Sony's next gaming system, PS5. I didn't know there was a PS4. I thought they were still on PS3. So that tells you how much I know. Wired got the exclusive on what to expect from Sony's next PlayStation, which says it won't likely be released into 2019. A true generational shift tends to include a few foundational adjustments. PlayStation's next generation console ticks all those boxes. So it's trending with PlayStation 4. It's been in development for 4 years, will not release till in 2019. Development kits are being deployed. More powerful CPU, GPU, ray tracing support, 3D audio, PSVR, and 8K support. 8K support, that's useless. 8K, you can't even see in 8K. You can't even see in 4K. It's one of those things that the reason you use 4K is so you can make huge format photographs and be able to, or in a small space, and be able to expand them out. So if you're taking a small photograph, it's so that you can expand it out without losing resolution. 8K is completely useless in a gaming system. On SSD, whatever. SSD report will have discs, PS4 backpat, whatever the hell that means. Anyway, so they're just, whatever, PS4. Or PS5. PS5! I'm still stuck on PS4. Number 6, Mike Ford. Uh-oh. Is that the dude from... That's not the... Who's Mike Ford? Oh, no, Mike Ford's not the... I was thinking, who's the mayor in Canada? The Coke guy. What? The Coke guy. You know... What's his name? That's not him. This has something to do with baseball. Mike Ford called up to somebody to play for the Yankees, maybe? Yeah, he's an infielder for the Yankees. I don't care. Sierra, just because she... make their his signing video from bed. Okay, that's why she's trending. Tuesday morning, worst robocall opening lines. Oh, this should be good. This should be good. This might be... I might end on it. In fact, I'm going to go back and end on that one because that sounds like it'll be funny. Let's see. Glenn Beck is trending. Compares Notre Dame fire to 9/11. Okay, now, if people are pissed off about that... Okay, so he speculates, if this was started by Islamists, I don't think you'll find out about it. Okay, that's his opinion. If that's his opinion, so what? This guy's pissed off. Airtight, right-wing logic from Glenn Beck, who is definitely sorry for all those years he spread baseless racist conspiracy theories. Yeah, no, he didn't. Racist. Whatever. You might not, because they don't... Yeah. Okay, I could compare the Notre Dame Cathedral on fire to 9/11 as in the sinking feeling in my heart. Not necessarily exactly the same, because obviously people were dying in 9/11. And it was a much worse, because it was a terrorist attack. We don't know about the Notre Dame Cathedral, and I don't care to speculate about how it started. I'll wait till they tell us how it started. But okay, so he speculates, and he's speculating that they'll try to keep it from you if it happens to be a act of terrorism. I disagree with him, but so what? That's his opinion. I don't care. Good God. Just, I mean, hi Jaeger Pony. I didn't see you sneak in, and Ezub too, and Elkin Pakala, you were here. Hi folks, good to see you. All right, so Glenn Beck's trending because people are pissed off at Glenn Beck. Roy Moore. Oh God. Roy Moore is back, leading Alabama GOP field for what? In a new Alabama Senate poll. So he's running for Senate. He was defeated in 2017 special election by Doug Jones. You know, it's interesting because there was a op, so to speak, on Roy Moore. There were some people who planted fake Russian bots that were telling lies, and they got caught with no consequences in the last time Roy Moore ran. Now, Roy Moore is he's a bit crazy, nutty kind of guy, but you know what? He's popular in Alabama. And they ran this just completely dishonest smear campaign against him. And they got caught. So that combined with the fact that Doug Jones' approval rating is 45%, 44% unfavorable, 10% undecided, 50% say replace him, 40% say reelect him, 10% aren't sure. And the leading GOP candidate right now, Roy effing Moore. Oh, that, I'm not Roy Moore is a really crazy character. Yeah, see, now Rick Wilson, who used to be a Republican. Kid Curious Roy Moore, Republican pedophile junction, Alabama, is currently leading the candidate in the GOP primary. Do I have to stomp this cockroach again? Oh, yeah, that's your job, Rick Wilson. People aren't happy with Doug, and Roy Moore ends up being the leading candidate. He's an odd dude. I'm not ready for that, but I think there's almost a flash of Schadenfreude if he would win. So there we go. Hey, Zombie Teddy, how you doing? All right, let's see. We'll do a couple more, and then we're going to go back because I got to go back to the worst robocall opening lines. Hoda is... Why is Hoda trending? Because Hoda is excited that she has adopted a baby girl at 54 years old. She's the same age as me. Today's show co-anchor Hoda Code, I don't know how to say her last name, reveals she's adopted another baby girl. Well, good for her. You know what? If you have the love and the ability to do it, go for it, Hoda. I always liked Hoda. I think she just seems like a charming human being. I don't know. So anyway, good for her. And, kids need love, and God bless Hoda. As an adoptee, I especially applaud what she has done. So good for her. Let's see. Any good ones down here? I'm gonna try to figure it out. Niratandan. Oh God, what is Niratandan? Yeah, y'all know who Niratandan is. Niratandan is what is she? She's president of AmProg, the Center for American Progress. Progressive, Indian American, feminist, mom, wife, not in that order. Views expressed are most definitely my own. She's a she's a prog. New York Times story of Niratandan should never have brought her mom into it. And whether you agree with Nira's views or not, her aggressiveness is one of her biggest strengths and would be lionized if she were a man. Really? 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 Does the New York Times lionize Donald Trump? No, they don't. Apparently, the sandbagging of Niratandan's mother seems to be a good subject for the New York Times ombudsman to look into. Does anyone know how to reach the New York Times ombudsman? Apparently, they don't like how... let's see. What did they say about her mom? I don't care how you feel about Niratandan or politics, but what the New York Times did to her 80-year-old mother was prey on a senior citizen, a well-known favorite target of scammers. Wow, what did they say? I don't know. But people are talking about it, and they're mad. Apparently, let's see. A statement from my mother, Maya Tandon, as a 78-year-old immigrant... As a 50-year-old, half Irish, half Nigerian person of color. Anyway, as a 78-year-old immigrant, I'm so proud of my daughter for succeeding, making life better for so many people. I'm not sure who you're making life better for, Mom, or she is, but whatever. Making life better for so many people and helping bring health care to millions. How's she done that? For the first time in my life, a reporter contacted me out of nowhere and said she wanted to talk to me for what I thought was a nice story about Nira. I didn't understand my words would be used in the story, and once I understood they could be, I called her back to clarify that. Only then did she tell me my words were on the record, a term I'd never heard before. I feel very misled, and it's shameful the New York Times would use my words to hurt my daughter. Now, you know what? I agree with that. Leave her mom out of it. I don't even know what they said about her. I don't even care. Why are they dragging the woman's mother into it and writing things about her? Now, what did they say? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. It's not in here. I don't care what they said about her. Why bring her mother on an article about her? I don't like it when they... remember when CNN went down to... I think it was down to Florida and went and found some random lady and told her that she was... she had retweeted something from a Russian bot. Why? Why are you singling out some person that has really nothing to do with anybody else? And even if it's, Niratandan, whatever you think about Niratandan, bringing something about her, bringing her mother into it, I don't know. Let's see. What is, okay, here it is. Still, Mrs. Tannen's mother, Maya Tannen, says that her daughter can be very aggressive. She's not going to let anyone rule over her, she said, and she has loyalty to Hillary because Hillary is the one who made her. Those Bernie brothers are attacking her all the time, but she lets them have it too, Maya Tannen said. She says Sanders got a pass in 2016, but he's not getting a pass this time. Okay. I wonder why they went there. I really wonder why they went there. So... I don't know. You know what? Leave people's families out of it unless they are also part of the organization or if they're a spokesman for the organization that the relative is a part of. All right. Enough. Oh. Okay. Mary Tyler Moore is trending because Georgia Engel has died at the age of 70. She was only 70? Wow. I would think she was older. Georgia Engel was on the Mary Tyler Moore show. Apparently, she's passed away. So, rest in peace, Georgia Engel. She played Georgette on the Mary Tyler Moore show. If you're old enough to remember that, you're old like me. Okay, I remember watching the Mary Tyler Moore show. It was a funny show, especially Ted Baxter was hilarious. And Georgette was Ted's girlfriend. And she was really ditzy. And she was funny. I mean, it was funny. A funny show at the time. So rest in peace, Georgia Engel. All right. Any others down here that I need to actually do today? Probably not. Oh, God. Why is Richard Spender trending? Oh, Richard Seymour. Okay, never mind. He plays for the Patriots. All right. Let's finish with the fun one, though, because I want to just go out on a lighter note. So, not how Star Wars should end. Where'd it go? Where's the one I want to do? Did it? Oh, crap. This is how Star Wars should have ended. That's not the one I want. See, sometimes you just got to click faster. It's got to be in there somewhere. Did they take it away? Good. Oh, there's a first look at Showtime's Charlie Chaplin feature doc. What the heck was that one called? That I wanted to do. It certainly wasn't how Star Wars should end. Something about robocall. Something robocall. Where the hell did it go? Oh, dang it. All right. Does anyone remember what that was? Hey, check your logic. Good morning. I know about the Mary Tyler Moore show, and I'm 30 years younger than you. Well, it was a great show. You probably saw reruns on TV Land or something. What was that hashtag about robocalls? Did it go away? Did they already give it the old 8-6? Anyone remember what I said? Control F. Okay, well, all right. We'll go into how Star Wars should end then. Worst. Oh, yeah, worst. Let's see, worst. There we go. Worst robocall opening lines. All right, let's see what people came up with for this. Because this is how I want to end on something funny or happy or something. Hello. We are calling to see if you would like to donate to the Windmill Cancer Research Fund. That's one of the worst robocall opening lines. Okay. Press 1. If you want me to stop calling you, presses 1. I'm afraid I can't do that, Dave. I've been working on a robocall voice. And by the way, let's go. I want to just check out something. Remember I told you about IRL Rosie? IRL Rosie, when I recommended her channel, she had about 30,000 subscribers. So let's just check in on IRL Rosie and see where she's at now. She has 243,518 subscribers now. She's the one who does all the scammer calls. Very funny. But literally, that's in like 3 weeks. She went from 10,000 to 243,000 subscribers. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right, more. Let's see. First, okay. Worst robocall opening lines. Do you have a small penis? We've detected a virus on your Windows computer. This one I use Macs. Okay. Worst robocall opening lines. Let's see. Let's find a good one here. Ghoulish morning. It is the devil. You died thousands of years ago, and you've been in hell since. We perform memory wipe games and make you think you're alive. For a limited time, we are offering an upgrade to Purgatory for the cost of your soul. That one's pretty good. Let's see. Hi. Hi. This is Mary from the Credit Card Center. Recording continues talking to you as you think it is a real person and tell them to stop calling you. That happens. I've done that before. Worst robocall opening lines. Have you accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? Some people have, thank you, and so I don't think that's funny. Hi, I'm calling on behalf of the Lori Loughlin Scholarship Fund. Oh my gosh, let's see. Let's do a couple more. Oh, now, of course, you have to have one bashing Trump. I'm calling from the Trump campaign. Let's see. Worst robocall. Let's see. Do you want to play a game? Come on, let's find one really good one. Oh, worst robocall opening line. Are your mommy and daddy home? I get, your call is very important to us. Please hold. Thank you, Sarah. That was a good one. I threw that out just reading yours. Hey, put your best. If you got a good one, throw ahead in the chat. I'm going to do a couple more and then we got to go. You have malware on your computer. Your computer. All right, let's see if as soon as I hit a good one, I'm going to go. Let's see. I know what you did last summer, and if you hang up, I will be forced to call the police. That being said, how about investing in a timeshare? All right, we'll do one more. Oh, wow, that is just, ooh, that's creepy looking. That's creepy. That's that's Photoshop magic, but it's creepy looking. Would you like to donate to the Trump Inaugural Fund? Okay, last one. Let's see. All right, this is the last one. Hi, I'm calling from Puritanical Prudes Society. You are alarmed by all the bare skin seen on women, such as when they wear short-sleeve shirts or shorts, or why I never. Please sign our petition to return us to the Victorian era of full coverage. That wasn't that good. One more. There's got to be a good one. Oh, look at that cat. That's a funny looking cat. I thought this hashtag was about RoboCop. All right, one last one. Oh. Your social security number has been stolen by the IRS. Give us your mother's maiden name. Okay, enough of that shit. Enough of that shit. It's getting boring now. Unless there was a really good one, I still haven't found a really good one. I thought there'd be much more clever ones. So anyway, having a problem finding a college that will admit your brain dead kids? If you have $500,000 laying around, we know a guy. Okay, that'll be it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today on the Morning Night Live. I hope you had some fun. Finishing up with on the lighter note with the worst robocall opening lines. I can see why it's not trending anymore. It's not that funny. But anyway, thank you so much for being here today. Of course, we're here Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and 2 p.m. GMT for those who do not live in this country, because it's still morning where we live. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate y'all. Thomas, thank you for the super chats, even though Corbin's already gone. And just, you know what, thanks for just being around, people. It makes me feel great, and I hope it's entertaining for you. And we're going to be here again tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. My name is Dawg Knight, and I am out of here. Bye. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and I want to thank you for joining me today on the Dawg Knight channel. Before you go, if you like what you saw and you're not already subscribed, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below, and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and I want to thank you for joining me today on the Dawg Knight channel. Before you go, if you like what you saw and you're not already subscribed, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below, and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and 2 p.m. GMT. A special thanks to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through our Streamlabs link in the description below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.